All right, folks, a very unusual episode coming up here. For Indigo Girls fans only, we are lesbians. It had to happen sometime, and now is the time.
Welcome to the podcast where it's all about living your love story and making your life and world a story where love wins. My name is Sienna.
And my name is Toast. We've been partners in life, love, and music since 2001. Welcome to our podcast. This is, like I said, this is going to be a very unusual episode. We don't usually do these kinds of episodes at all. Usually they're more topical.
Oh my God.
We don't usually just, rant about whatever. But I take this back. I am ranting.
We do rant about
I'm already
stuff.
ranting. I'm already ranting.
Okay.
So the rant in this episode will be about Indigo Girls, which is unusual. We've never done anything like this before. It's usually about other topics like baked goods or our cats or a movie.
Okay,
so.
I have to say that I think
Sienna, before we hit record, Sienna was laughing her ass off. So we don't know what's going to happen in this.
It's, you know what it is?
episode.
Once you start laughing where you can't control it, you can't put it back in the box.
Once you've crossed
it
the
just
threshold,
feels like that.
You're trapped in the laugh box.
I have to say though, did you snort?
Oh God.
Okay. Okay. We can't start this over. We already tried to start it over. What I do want to say, and I'm going to just be transparent here, I feel like I don't say how much I love them, the Indigo Girls.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's such a stereotype.
I know.
I know it's not
funny.
but after having been to so many of their concerts,
Yes.
and after watching the concerts that we've been watching during this time of COVID, they have so many straight fans.
Oh yeah, right.
So
Yes,
many, right?
Of course.
You know,
Because straight people are also
music
they
lovers.
also have they also have good taste in music.
Oh my God. Okay, come on, Toast. Stop it. All right.
Housekeeping announcement.
Yes, so this is going to be just a fun, light episode. But some housekeeping first. You say it.
Okay. Just a heads up that we're going to start trying a new format in subsequent episodes. We're going to try and just address one question per episode. We hope and plan for these episodes to be on the shorter side. And the reason we're doing this is because we have a bunch of projects that we're trying to cross the finish line on. And we realize that the time that we have is limited. So we need to, if we want to devote time to these other projects, we need to take time from other things. But we also didn't want to take a complete hiatus on this podcast. So instead we decided to just shorten.
We have to tell them the whole
subsequent
story, don't
episodes. I
right.
tend to be like that, right?
Well,
I tend to want to
you want
give the
you want the
entire
whole
picture
terrain,
and tell
whole-
it from another point of view. But what about, have you considered this point of view?
I know.
And Sienna gets kind of irritated with that sometimes.
Yeah, that's a bit much for me. Okay, I think I'm okay with the laughing thing. You know why I was laughing so much harder than normal?
Because you're tired.
Well, no. That is true. But I am tired.
See, it's not just one thing.
It's not just one
so
thing.
you have to cover all the bases and be like, well, a lot of things could have
That's true.
contributed
That's true.
to the prone to laughter.
But I will say that I was watching the two crazy cat ladies recently on one of their lives.
Okay. You have to
And
maybe share
The
who
two
they
crazy.
are.
Okay, you have to visit twocrazycatladies.com. But actually, they have a wonderful line of holistic health products for cats. But you must watch some of their videos, so you can look for them on YouTube. But I recently watched one of their lives, and one of the two crazy cat ladies, her name is Adrienne, she was laughing uncontrollably. And just watching her laugh made me laugh so hard. And then I learned why she was laughing. And that made me laugh even more because I could see why one would laugh about that.
Oh,
and so now
okay.
as I'm laughing here, I'm remembering her laughing uncontrollably. And so that was making me laugh even more. But I think I'm okay now.
So now we all know.
Yes. Let's take a moment.
You know, we didn't need to know.
No.
I mean, not to sound
No.
rude and you know
You didn't
that,
need to know.
but I guess that
didn't.
was my way of trying to let you know that I think all of us are okay with you having a giggle attack.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Well,
and you don't
it
need to
might come
justify it or explain it or
Well, thank you.
you know,
Thank you.
we love it
I feel very
just as it is.
accepted.
Good. That was the main thing. And now we present our ranting about Indigo Girls.
Okay, so recently, Toast and I have been enjoying so many Indigo Girls concerts via Instagram and Facebook.
The only way you can enjoy concerts these days.
Yes, and what's so lovely is that we have been seeing the Indigo Girls in concert at the the Oregon Zoo. Mm-hmm. Saw them twice, past 2 years, and normally that would have been what we would have been doing this summer.
Yeah, assuming they
Would have had a show.
would have had a show.
Right? But what's been so nice is despite everything that's going on right now, we've probably watched, how many have we watched? Maybe like 4 or 5 lives.
Yeah. We haven't done all of them because they've done a lot. A lot of
Yeah.
artists are doing a lot of basically
saw-
free work.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like you can enjoy a concert in the comfort of your own home in a much more intimate setting. You can get up and get yourself, a beverage or whatever. And you can even have conversations with fellow concert goers in the comments and kind of make first-hand contact with each other, which is a really neat aspect of all of these virtual live stream concerts going on. But yeah, it's been really neat. And also, too, you can watch while your cat is on your lap or roaming around, you know? Like,
Right.
yep.
Yeah. And so one of the concerts that they did was for a benefit, Honor the Earth. Mm-hmm. And it was just so amazing because through that 1 hour concert, they raised over $200,000 for Honor the Earth.
Yep. Among the community
And
of fans.
what? Yes.
So cool.
That's just so crazy.
I love it.
They did another one
so
for, was
gratifying.
it for Feed America?
I don't know the name of the organization. I don't
It was a
recall, but it
local
was for,
organization, I think.
yes, a food bank organization local to them in Georgia. So anyway,
So it was great. So recently we watched their dedication concert where prior to having the concert, they solicited for,
old school dedications. Like,
would you like
remember?
to dedicate a song?
See, Gen X will remember this.
Yes.
Where you would call into the radio station and say, I'd like to dedicate a song to Mikey from Toast or whatever. And it's like, you've been such a good friend. And then
Thanks
the
for
DJ would
sticking
come
by
on,
me.
right?
Yeah.
The DJ is like, this song is for Mikey. So they solicited dedications like that of songs from their catalog, obviously. And they said they got over 2,000 submissions and they felt
crazy.
really bad. They weren't able to, read every single one. But of course, I'm sure we all understood. And they read off some of the dedications before they would perform the song.
Oh my God, some
and
of
that's
them.
what
That's
killed
what
you.
broke us down.
Yeah,
Oh my
literally-
God, it was so good.
Literally bringing us to tears.
Yes.
Just hearing the hearts that our fellow human beings have out there for each other, for their family members, for friends, for spouses, some of whom have gone on to the next world. Like, it was just really, really, really cool.
Yeah. I got to say a highlight for me is that listening, I think it was to the Honor the Earth concert.
Okay.
That one, I was so excited because Toast and I have been to many of their concerts. We've seen them live many times, but I have never heard them sing Ghost or Love Will Come to You live. Never, ever, ever. And I'm always like, oh, they never sing it. How come they never sing it? They sang it. We knew they were going to sing it because for this concert, they sang one of their most popular albums.
Rites of Passage.
From start to finish. And so it was such a special concert, really.
Yeah.
For, I guess those would be old school fans, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And it was just, I just died because I have so many favorite songs, but those two have been in a special box because I've never heard them sing it live.
That's probably one of my favorite albums of theirs. I mean, like you said, it's hard to choose. You know, when you really really love an artist, right? When the artist has been such a pivotal core part of your coming of age, it's kind of like a family member almost, right? It's not like you can choose a favorite per se. You just have you've developed your own kind of personal individual relationship with their body of work as it continues to grow. And you know what? I just realized as we were preparing for this episode that when you count Indigo Girls studio albums, like major studio albums, starting from their self-titled debut album up till now, they had 6 albums released before You and I Met. And they have now had 6 albums released after You and I Met.
Well,
so I thought that was kind of neat.
It's perfect to have this podcast.
So I thought that's kind of neat.
That is neat.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's go back to talking about the lesbian stereotype thing. Can I tell a quick story about that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So how unfortunate and how much of still like internalized homophobia does that reveal that we might feel self-conscious about being a lesbian stereotype if we talk about how much we like Indigo Girls, right? Am I right? I'm right.
Know,
Come on, I'm right. All right.
And
I just think that's funny. I think it's healthy to laugh at that.
But also too,
what?
when you go to a concert, you're excited because it's like a mini pride.
Kind
of, like
in a way,
lesbian pride.
Okay. Well, and I think also a pride, but like an expanded, more inclusive pride, because there are people there who like, okay, you're lesbian, so what? Big whoop, right?
Yeah.
Which is also, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Or LGBTQ or whatever it is nowadays, liquid or fluid or whatever.
It's not
right?
liquid.
It's not
liquid.
Okay. But this reminds me of how one time in a college literature class, which was being taught by a professor who happened to be gay, it was so funny. One of the kids in the class, a student, raised their hand and they asked a question, something along the lines of, how come all the lesbians are smart? I thought that was hilarious. And I actually have an answer to that.
Okay. Yes.
The answer is that I think people who are non-binary are forced to do some introspection and, assessment of themselves and of society. And that kind of forces you to be smarter in a way.
Yeah.
I won't go into what I mean by in a way, because those of you who know. But I feel like, and of course I am biased, but I feel like Indigo Girls is smart music.
Yes.
That's all I'll say. There are other kinds of smart music, but I think they're one of them. I think it's also funny that IG used to stand for Indigo Girls, but now it stands for Instagram.
I know. You know what I love? Okay, so I think what you can love just their music.
Okay.
Indigo Girls music.
Okay.
But what makes their music even better when you think like, oh, I couldn't love this song more.
Okay.
You're like, okay, yeah, I love that song so much. And that's it. I love it.
All right.
But then all of a sudden you find yourself going, oh my God, I love it even more now.
Okay.
Is when you really when you feel like you know them.
Okay.
And you get a sense of who they are. And you feel like, wow, they are really nice people. like they do come off as really nice people. Do we know them? We don't know them. But when you see them do, you know, whatever banter in between songs, it's like you just get that feeling like they have so much heart. I love how they will pluck some, you know, indie musician and have them and invite them to open for their concert. I love that. Yeah. They really, I feel like they pay it forward.
Yes, absolutely.
And then doing all the fundraisers that they do.
Yep.
And I know that they've been doing that from day one.
That's right.
You know, not waiting until they felt maybe, oh, we have a following now, so now we can do one. They've been immersed from day one.
Yeah.
And so you put all that together and you're like, oh my God, these are really good human beings.
Right.
Then it's even better.
Exactly. Because if
You
people,
know,
because
I love
that's
that.
why when somebody shows that they're not, or when somebody shows that they're less than a good human being,
Yeah.
it kind of makes you want to be like, no, thanks.
Yeah. Right.
Nice song, but I don't feel good about myself supporting that. So,
You know what? That is so true. That is so true.
I will take this moment, though,
Yes.
to say that personally, I think there is a distinction between art and the person who the art is channeled through. So I'm not somebody who's like, oh, if, you know, like just never buy that person's stuff again or whatever.
Because they're an asshole. Like,
Yeah, or just like now you can't be a fan of that
Absolutely.
person. I think there's a gray area there. I don't think anyway. I think that's important to say because nowadays I think there's such a hyper sensitivity to that issue.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely, that's one of the things that I'm so grateful for, their example and using their power for good.
And I would like more banter from them.
You want to hear a podcast by them?
I want to hear a podcast. I want to hear more banter within a concert. You know, I want to hear more of that.
Okay. Well, if they're listening, they might be like, "Oh, take a note." Okay. Okay. Anything else? I mean, we have definitely a lot more else.
Well, I will say that, you know, getting used to watching these concerts from home, it's been such a different experience, right?
Right.
But one of the nice pluses is that even if we're not amidst a sea of other people, human beings loving the music and being physically there together, it has been a nice benefit to actually go within the heart and mind of a person because they're commenting while the concert is going on. You know, so you get to see the scroll of tons of comments from people.
Yes.
And that is also bonding. Because
There's
you laugh. Some of them are just like, oh my God, I feel that way too. Or, you know, so I've been enjoying that piece.
There's something
So
very,
nice.
there's something very touching about that, like being able to have an insight into individuals' thoughts and histories with the songs, and instead of just knowing conceptually that is the case.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now
I know we're just
I'm
all
gonna-
over the place because there's just so much to say, and I'm thinking like,
and yet we're not
gonna
being
cover.
very, and yet we're not being
then
very
we're not-
specific.
I know. Do we need to start this again?
No, hell no. Okay, let's see. How about we tell briefly? I'm going to tell briefly the story of how Sienna first learned about the Indigo Girls. She had never heard of them. She was a bona fide, genuine, authentic
wait.
lesbian, but
Okay,
still,
wait.
you can be a lesbian without knowing about the Indigo Girls because that's what Sienna was. And then we met, and we shared music.
I was a lesbian longer than you were a lesbian.
Yes, you were.
And so
Conscious lesbian.
conscious lesbian.
I was an unconscious lesbian.
So I will say that yes, it is a shame that I don't know what happened to me that I escaped that. You know, like why didn't I know about them?
Because I think it's because the lesbian gene was so strong in you. Because you didn't.
Therefore, I wouldn't know about them.
Therefore, you don't need to know about them. You could still be a lesbian without knowing about them.
Well, I don't know. So the way I learn about them is I received hold on now, people.
This is Gen X
I
talking.
received a mixed cassette tape from Toast.
Mixed tape.
Now, were there CDs available? Yes. But what was not common is a CD burner. Not everyone had that during that time.
And I, at that time, did not even have a boombox with 2 cassettes.
Do not say boombox.
Well, I'm using the terminology. I'm going to use it. We said mixtape already. We're in that territory. I did not even have a way to make my own mixtape at home. So I had to go to the audiovisual lab at the University of Hawaii and sit there and make the mixtape.
Oh my God.
So
yeah.
I chose some very selected, hand-picked songs
curated.
from the Indigo Girls
they were
catalog.
curated.
And one of them was Love Will Come to You.
Well, no, it was not.
What? Okay, go on.
That came later.
But it was there, though. That's
Not on
why
the
I said
tape.
one of them.
Oh, on the first tape?
Well,
Not on the first tape. You're thinking it was, right?
I'm embarrassed to say I don't remember the
Okay.
first versus the second mixtape.
Here's what I will say. So I got this mixtape and I'm like, wow, what is this? Okay, let's start listening to it. So the songs that really hit me from that tape, they were Prince of Darkness, Ghost, Land of Canaan, Crazy Game. Those were the songs that really hit me.
Okay.
And I remember having to stop it and contact her and say, who are these people? Who are these
Indigo Girls?
Who are these people? Because that was my first experience of really like deeper songwriting. You know?
Oh, I see. You mean on a topic other than romantic love or breakups?
I just felt like there was more meat on the bone.
Okay.
And I felt like
Like
there's
a
so much
spirituality
here.
to it,
There
right?
was so much here. And I felt like you couldn't just listen and enjoy. And maybe some people, that's their aim with music. I just want to listen and enjoy it. But I felt like as I was listening, there was so much to take in.
For your soul.
Yeah, like there was the first hit of just for me, the melody always hits me first. So there's the melody, but then now there's harmony. And then now there's these lyrics that I'm going, okay, what does that mean? Wait, what did she say? Wait, what are they saying here? So I felt like there was so much to the songs that I had never experienced before.
Wow.
And so, there was just so much to take in. And, and Power of Two was on that as well. Okay. But at the time, I believe if I had to break it down at that time, my favorite song was probably Crazy Game, which I have also not heard them sing live.
I know, right? Hint, hint.
Have you?
Wouldn't it be
Because
awesome?
you've seen more concerts.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't ever seen them
I
live
love that
with my own
song.
eyes. I have not seen.
We have performed that song. I love it. I would love to cover it. It's just such a beautiful song.
It's a great song.
It is. It is.
Here's another cassette tape related story about Crazy Game.
Okay.
I taught myself how to play that song on the guitar just by, rewinding the cassette a lot of times.
Not with
just
a pencil.
using my ear because
You weren't rewinding with a pencil.
not rewinding with a pencil.
Okay, yeah. That's if it breaks.
Right.
Yeah.
And the magnetic tape is all strewn out.
You need a pencil to fix your cassette tape.
No, but there was no internet to look up what are the guitar chords for, you just have to figure it out or buy the book
And that's
or
a hard
something.
song. Yeah.
And I was like, I love the song so much. So I figured it out, painfully rewinding and playing and rewinding and playing. Well, turns out I figured it out. But I think because it was a cassette, the playback is not exact, right?
Right.
So my version ended up being in the key of F. But when I have seen videos of them playing it, it's in the key of E, a half step lower. So I think it's kind of funny that, just because it was a cassette.
Yeah.
And maybe my guitar was not tuned perfectly right on. So anyway, for the music geeks out there, I think that's
love
kind of
that.
funny.
I love
It's
that.
like a old school playing music in your living room or in your bedroom kind of thing. Okay.
Well, that's not old school anymore.
Oh, that's true. But now you're doing it in front of like a selfie ring light. Okay. So I love how their songwriting, and especially Emily Salyer's songwriting, like I would say, like her songwriting.
Well, you have a lot in common with her.
Well, her songwriting was what first kind of really piqued my interest and made me question, like, why, like, what is it about this song that affects me so much? What are the mechanics that make the song so powerful and convey this kind of sense, a kind of atmospheric ambiance? Why is that happening in my brain, in my emotions, in my internal experience of this song?
Yeah.
And I realized that I think it has to do with what I've heard called world building when it comes to writing a script or poetry or lyrics. And what world building refers to, as I understand it, is the power of suggestion. Which actually, isn't that a phrase that she uses in one of her songs? I don't know which one it is, but yes, it is. The power of suggestion. And I was so appreciative of this technique that I think she uses, that I see she uses in her lyric writing, that I mapped out an example of how she does this in one of her songs, and I sent this handwritten chart, like with all kinds of lines and stuff, to Sienna. And it was for the song Love Will Come to You, because I think that's one of the songs where it's put to one of the greatest effect.
I love that song.
So Love Will Come to You is from the album Rites of Passage, which is so beautifully produced. That's the other thing. That album the production is exquisite. It's incredible. But okay, so
I'm going to try and dig that letter up so we can take a photo and put it on Instagram.
We'll see if we can find it. But yeah, like, so in her songwriting technique, just really quickly, like, if you know, one of their popular songs is called Power of Two. And the hookiest part is adding up the total of a love that's true, multiply life by the power of two. So you can see how she uses math, right? Mathematics in the lyrics to just kind of use that as the theme. However, that math theme is not so prevalent in all the rest of the song. But in Love Will Come to You, what I love about this one is the world building and the motif and the atmosphere that is conveyed in the lyrics is much more subtle. But so many of the lyrics, and I don't think I'm reading into this, somebody can tell me if I am, but so many of the lyrics paint a picture of, I guess what I would describe as kind of like an old world carnival. Like, and when I say that, I mean, I'm talking about like trained tigers and a knife thrower and a fortune teller, little trinkets, hand-carved toys.
And purple velvet.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
I'm trying
you drew it for me.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But I don't know if the listener understands what I'm trying to talk about.
And remember, I gave you a crystal ball.
Yes, I still have it.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, so for those of you who know, or if you want to look up that song, Love Will Come to You.
Oh my God, if you don't know this song, you must.
Read through the lyrics. And it was a revelation to me to go on the search of like, why do certain songs have such an effect on me? And then to analyze everything from the music, but also to the lyrics, and to realize, oh, this is what's happening. And And I just admired it so much. And
Yeah.
I love that. So this type of songwriting technique is, it requires so much complexity. It requires an intricateness, a sophistication. It requires a lot of thought, right? It's very cerebral to have to be able to, and to take the time to construct a song with lyrics like this and the feel of it. And that's Emily Saylor's style of songwriting. And
From your vantage point.
Yeah, from my
Yes.
point of view. And Amy Ray's style of songwriting is just as genius, but it comes across as just way more just instinctual,
Yeah.
just primeval, you know, primal. There's a
Kind of hits you in the gut. That's how I feel.
yeah, but it's not so it's not intellectualized. It doesn't come across that way to me. The genius of it is just in the primal feeling of it, the instinctual feeling of it.
Yeah.
And I love how, hey, it comes together,
Yep.
boom, and that's Indigo Girls, and here they are after 30 plus years, you know, still making awesome music.
Yes, I agree. And what's lovely is that they just came out with a new album.
Yes.
Actually, not just. I mean,
Well,
I guess
kind of
just
in the past
May,
month,
in
right?
May,
Yeah,
I
past
think it
couple
was.
months.
And it's called Look Long. And I would say that is one of my favorite tracks on it.
Yes, me too.
I also love When We Were Writers.
Oh, so good. Oh, that song made me cry the first time we heard it.
So good. So good.
And then another song that I really admired, just the slice of life feeling of it, is Casey Girl.
Yes.
KC stands for Kansas City
Girl. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought
was great
it was
too.
called Kansas City Girl because in the song, isn't that what she
that's the
says?
lyric, yeah.
Kansas City Girl. Yeah. But
So good. Oh, you know what song I love too? I have to say this. It's not from this album.
okay. It's okay.
Share the Moon.
Oh
my God. Kill
That's
me.
so good.
And also too, what I love is that is like the opening track of
Yep.
what is that? What is the album? What album is that one on? Beauty Queen's Sister. I love that one too. But okay, so I loved Share the Moon I just love that song. You have to listen to it. It's just expansive and open and beautiful. And what is so lovely is that at one of the concerts that we attended, where they played at the Oregon Zoo, they started
Is it
that
an opening song? I'm looking at
they
their
started
catalog.
that song, and the night sky was above us with the stars. It was a clear night. It was just so beautiful. There was the moon there, and it was just perfect. Just the perfect setting.
I'm not going to pretend that we were wrong. I mean, that we're right, because look, I'm looking through their albums and
Is
I'm
it
like,
wrong?
I don't think Share the Moon was I think you're thinking Moment of Forgiveness.
Become You. I love that song too.
Yeah.
Moment of Forgiveness.
Yeah. So I think that's what you had in mind when you were thinking opening
first track.
song. Yeah, first track. Because Share the Moon is not the first track on any of their songs. I mean, any of their albums. You know, I gotta admit, after a while, like
They all it blends together.
there's
Blends
so many
because
albums. Oh my gosh, it's funny how you process memories based on what age you are. I think, you know, when you're younger, you have less going on and less responsibilities to manage. So you have more room to like have these memories just imprint on you when an album is released and stuff. That's my reasoning. Let's see. The other thing, okay, I could talk for hours and days. So since you're scrolling through, I'm going to take the opportunity to continue yapping.
Yep.
I so appreciate the wisdom in the lyrics that is conveyed. Closer to Fine, I mean, we're talking old school right here. Closer to Fine, the lyric of the less I seek my source for some definitive, the closer I am to fine. I'm just like, how do you write that when you're in college? Like, that's such a wise thing. That reminds me of the Tao that can be spoken, or the Tao that can be named is not the true Tao, right? It's like,
I need to give an update here.
Okay.
It is the first track.
Oh, Beauty Queen Sister.
I said
Why
Beauty
is
Queen
I
Sister.
know you did. You're right. I was wrong. I will fully admit and give you credit. I was wrong.
Look, on iTunes,
Yes.
on Apple Music, it has a star. So I am not alone. Look how many
You are
people love
not
that
alone.
song, right?
You know what? Okay, here's my mistake. Okay, because I don't have Beauty Queen Sister at all in my list of Indigo Girls albums.
I would not be admitting that. I love that album.
Why don't I have that? So then I was also
We have
wrong
the album.
when I said, I know. So I was also wrong when I said that they had 6 studio releases before and after we met each. Anyway.
Anyway, okay. I don't know if this episode is really complete, but I think we should end it. Look, it's 30. We went 15 minutes over our time.
Right. It will never be complete because
and I'm so
love
glad
for
it's
Indigo
never-
Girls knows no bounds. That's why.
I'm so glad it's never going to be complete. And you know, I have this. Okay, I'm going to keep talking for a little bit.
Yeah, I know it. I know it.
So the very first time I ever saw them in concert. So now this is after the mixtape. This is after you moved up to the mainland from Hawaii.
This was at the Orange County
Fair. It's after all of that. It's after we finally admitted, like, okay, I think I like you. Okay, you like me. No, we were not in 8th grade, but I was so excited to see them in concert because I felt like I missed out so much having found them so quote unquote late in my life, in my lesbian life. And I remember seeing them, and it was pretty intimate concert venue, I think. It wasn't that, like a huge.
Well, they don't do like arena concerts.
Right. But we saw them in Long Beach once, and it was a really big theater, Long Beach Performing Arts.
Yeah.
And
Long Beach Theater.
that felt very big.
But the
Compared
tickets
to
you got for us were like
in the front.
Yeah. I mean, it was special.
But anyways, so I have this great memory of our love was new. We're there. We're getting to see Indigo.
I'm gonna love you good and strong.
We're gonna go
While our
see
love
them,
is good.
and
Yeah.
it's under the night sky again. So it's an outdoor thing. A county fair is happening at the same time. I mean, it was just such a wonderful experience. And then we went in and we had our picture taken in those booths. So I have that picture too. I mean, it was just so wonderful. So I just have to share that. Music and memories. It's just, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do, people? Okay. Let's take a deep breath.
Okay.
We have to move on.
Just a shout out for live albums. I've been listening to live albums recently and just feeling like, oh, remember that? Live music. When you could get a crowd of people in one place and time. And the energy of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was listening to their old live stuff.
Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to happier
Okay.
times. I mean, that is a happy time, but I know the way you're saying it is like, oh my God.
Well, it's just a renewed appreciation for,
I
it's
know.
like, it's that thing. You don't know what you got till it's
I
gone.
went to the
right?
doctor today.
I
and
went to the doctor. I went to the mountains.
I went to the doctor today.
I drank from the fountain.
And it was like Disneyland for me. Because I don't see people. I saw my doctor. It's a new doctor for me. So first time I'm in that office. I'm like, look at this tile. Look at this picture. It's so beautiful. Look at this wood tone. Look at this tapestry.
Yeah.
And I saw my doctor and I'm like, look at her outfit. She's just beautiful with the ponytail and her nice earrings.
Look, it's a person. It's another person. Oh my God.
That's very, I know. I mean,
People.
I just, so definitely.
I do know. And I'm sure
definitely-
other people listening know.
Definitely renewed, exactly what you said, renewed appreciation for even going to the doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to end here.
Thank you.
So,
if you listen this far,
thank you for listening.
You are a true Indigo Girls fan.
Yes. And if you know anyone who is an Indigo Girls fan, please send this to them because they will understand every single thing.
Or send them to us.
Or send them to us, yeah.
Ooh, wouldn't it be okay? I
What?
just had a thought. What if what if people send us like the name of a song, an Indigo Girls song, and we can just go off episode by episode about a song?
We will do that.
I would do it.
We would do it.
I would do it.
Yeah, I would do it.
So, hey, we dare you.
I'm really caught up now.
We dare you. Send us a song.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks so much for listening. And don't forget, come next week, we are testing out a different format. It's going to be Q&A type format. And because we are doing a shorter podcast while we finish a few other projects, we will be answering one question per episode. Just preparing you. So
just letting
it's not
you in
one
on
of those
what our
grab your
intentions.
coffee and kick back for 20 to 50 minutes. All right. And if you have a question, please feel free to send it to us on any of our social media platforms. You can also email us at info@siennaandtoast.com.
And until next time,
This is Sienna.
and this is Toast, inviting you to come and live your love story.